I still remember the exact sound of the door slamming behind me. Not loud, not dramatic, just final. "You're just a quiet nobody," he'd said, spitting red-faced. His laughter echoing off the boardroom glass like a goddamn war drum. My wife sat next to him, silent, eyes down, hands folded in her lap, like she wasn't part of this, like she hadn't signed the same papers. I walked out without a word. Let them think they'd won, but I already knew something they didn't. The patents, every line of code, each blueprint, the intellectual backbone of our $50 million empire, they were mine. Filed quietly over the years. My name, my signature, my ownership. They never asked, and I never told. They saw me as a silent partner, the engineer, the background guy. They were the charm, the flash, the sales. I was the one who built the product, quietly, thoroughly, legally, and I never stopped building. We started the company in a garage. Cliché, I know, but it was real. Greasy pizza boxes, late nights, code reviews at 2 a.m. Her brother Jake was the loud one. Always had an idea. Always claimed the credit, and I let him. I didn't care back then. I was in love with her, with the work, with the dream. We were going to change everything in our niche. Smart infrastructure sensors. The future. I believed in it. Believed in them. Even when the board meetings got longer and the conversations shorter. Even when Jake started saying, I, more than, we. Even when my wife stopped looking at me like a partner and more like an obligation. Still, I stayed quiet and kept building. It started with a dinner I wasn't invited to. The firm's lead counsel accidentally hit reply all. I saw the email chain. The jokes, the plan, phase him out quietly. We need clean optics for the next funding round. Jake's words. My wife's thumbs up emoji underneath it. Cold. Efficient. I didn't reply. I didn't scream or beg. I printed the email and slipped it into my safe. Then I called my own lawyer. 2 weeks of silence. They moved fast, froze my company accounts, and sent a revised shareholder agreement I was encouraged to sign. My office key card stopped working. I smiled when it did, because I'd been preparing for this since the first time Jake suggested filing the patents under the company instead of under me. I said no, of course. Told them it was faster to handle it myself. Just want to keep the momentum going. They shrugged. Didn't care. They were too busy chasing investors. So every single core design, mine. Filed, notarized, protected. Even the AI core, the algorithm they were now pitching to a Fortune 500 buyer, was registered solely to me. They never checked, but someone else did. The call came at 9:30 a.m. Their lawyer, nervous, stuttering. We've hit a bit of a legal snag. I leaned back in my chair and let him scramble. He tried to dance around it, but I cut him off. You mean the part where you're selling tech you don't own? Silence. I let that sit. Then I sent the PDF of the patent filings. Every document, time-stamped and sealed. I suggest you call your client, I said, before the press does. I didn't sue. I didn't have to. The buyer pulled out. Word spread fast. Investors panicked. The board demanded answers. Then came the shareholder revolt. Jake and my wife were ousted in a single vote. Scrubbed clean from the leadership page. The same lawyers who drafted my exit papers were now drafting theirs. And me? I didn't go back. I licensed the patents quietly, strategically, to their biggest competitor. 8 figures up front. I set up my own lab. Hired the best minds I knew, people who actually saw me. No noise, no spotlight, just progress. A month later, Jake showed up at my door, unshaven and desperate. They're saying you own everything. That can't be legal. It is, I said. You should read the fine print. You betrayed us. That made me laugh. You don't get to use that word. Not you. He tried to push past me. I didn't move. I gave you everything, I said. Respect, trust, years of my life. And you threw me out like a stray dog. But I'm the quiet nobody, right? He didn't answer. Didn't need to. I closed the door in his face. My wife never called. Not once. But I saw her name in the filings, transferring her shares to cover legal costs. She backed the wrong man, and I backed myself. Funny how that works. Now I sit alone in my new office. Smaller, quieter. But every wire, every sensor humming in here, mine. Sometimes silence is power. Sometimes the quiet nobody is the only one paying attention. They forgot that, and I reminded them permanently.